All right, and welcome to Fastbreak Breakfast NBA podcast. My name is Keith Parish, and I'm here, finally back. I'm here once again with my buddy through the miracle of computer phone. I'm here with Dave DuFour. Dave, we were in person last week. We had an offline podcast, otherwise known as a conversation.
Yeah.
It was great.
Right.
I wish we could have sold admission. We were saying so many enlightening and funny and insightful things. Like, man, people should pay for this.
Had to be there. Yeah, you had to be there. Like my great fake trade that now can't happen.
You had a great. So we have, unfortunately, a terminal case of content brain. Where when we're just
to be fair, we were watching the draft.
We were watching the NBA draft at downtown Disney, Anaheim. Which is not the
commercial as it gets.
Not the ideal location for a lot of things. We have me and the family, wonderful vacation. I don't mean to cast any aspersions at the Disney empire, despite receiving no money from them, as far as I know. But downtown Disney, not a lot of televisions. We ended up at there was two places that had televisions, essentially. One of them was a bar, which I found out wasn't actually a bar. It was a beer bar. It was a brewery. Right. Couldn't actually, serve maybe something that I wanted. But we were watching the draft in person, total offline experience. I thought your idea was amazing. You wanted to trade Damian Lillard to the Wizards just for any combination of their big salaries, like CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart. Give me two of those and our team's amazing. You have to do that. The Wizards could be like, we could have Damian Lillard next year. Maybe that eats into our 2026 cap space. Maybe that's bad. Maybe they don't want to have that guy. Maybe they're ready to win. I thought it was an amazing idea. Of course, this dream has been dashed in the last hour as the Bucks, Dave, waived and stretched Damian Lillard. Don't stretch and wave me, bro. What do you think about the Bucks getting rid of their Damian Lillard issue? I don't know what to call it.
Well,
this is so
it's
surprising.
Not an issue, right? I mean, this was the way that they could get Myles Turner. I mean, let's be honest here, right? This is essentially paying Myles Turner $50 million a year.
Yeah,
is what it is, right? Yeah. So you're eating up what it is a starting salary for like a number 5 starter money, about $22.5 million, I think is the stretch number that's going to be on their books.
Yeah.
But Dame not being able to play next year and the Bucks having an opportunity here. I mean, the East is wide open. They had to do something, right? Like you couldn't make it a gap. You could have made it a gap year when they got eliminated. You could say, hey, Giannis, look, Dame's going to be out a year, but maybe when he comes back, he looks good. If not, maybe we can move on because he'll be an expiring contract and we can reshuffle around you. But we'll have this down year where, maybe we're the 6th seed. Maybe, I mean, it's Giannis. I actually think he by himself makes them at least a 6th seed. They are not a play-in, right? So, and then they get an opportunity to get Myles Turner, and you got to do something. Now, was it maybe fast? Yeah, but that's free agency. And I just think you got to do something. And by the way, they brought back Gary Trent.
The band's back together. They brought back Taurean Prince. Bobby Portis got some cash. They did not bring back Brook Lopez, notably Brook Lopez going to the Clippers so he can be closer to downtown Disney in Anaheim. Yeah. I disagree with you, Dave. I disagree under your assertion the Bucks had to do something. I think they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was in favor of them keeping Giannis because the East is wide open. Run it back, see what you have. I don't agree that this was the option because this, to me, feels short-sighted. Like you see free agency. We've had a lot of huge deals go out. You had Naz Reid, 5-year, 125. You had Jabari Smith Jr., 5-year, 122. You now have Damian Lillard's ghost, literally nothing for 5-year, 122. Like that is, or was it 5-year, 113? Yeah. 5-year, 113 of nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Also,
I don't think this was the right move. I mean,
you're saying they had to do something, but this was not it.
They had to do something with that contract. I don't like the wave and stretch at all.
Okay, all right, then I'm back on board. I misunderstood.
Like you, it handcuffs them.
Yeah.
Again, they have handcuffed themselves. They are down their fifth starter in their salary cap right now. Now, look, the cap went up 7% this year. They're thinking, like the rest of us, it's going to be 10% next year, 10% the year after, and all of a sudden 22.5 million or whatever the number is. That only gets you like your eighth guy or whatever it is that they're thinking, whatever pie in the sky dream that they have there. I still just, what teams have operated well with dead money sitting on their books in recent history? I feel like the teams that have dead money on their books, when it happens, we're constantly talking about why they're hamstrung. And we know that like this CBA makes it hard anyway to build your team more on the fly because of all the apron rules and whatnot.
That's the thing.
Right. I think that they felt like they had to do something. This comes into your lap where you have a chance to get Myles Turner. I just think this is a little bit of a rush. Again, what about engaging Indiana on a sign and trade?
What?
Like maybe not with Dame, but although maybe they'd be
How many
interested
games,
in that. I don't know.
Just theoretically, let's ballpark. If the Bucks ran it back and they kept Brook Lopez, who wasn't amazing last year and is obviously quite old. If they ran it back with Brook Lopez, what? They're going to win, you'd expect him to maybe, they could
50.
win 40. That seems high to me, but I would say
50.
40, 45 in there.
Okay. It's
but what do you expect now? To me, what did this add? 2 games? Are you going to win go from 45 to 47 wins? This is not that significant of a move. I don't feel like. I don't know. I am a bit shocked. I mean, this is twice now. This is a much bigger example of me being, I see the news and then I have maybe too much information in my head where I'm like, how? I see breaking news and I go, what? How? Like this was initially where the Jaren Jackson Jr. was the first bit of free agency news that leaked that affected the Grizzlies. Like, yeah, they locked him down with this renegotiation. And I was like, well, how? I just don't know how. Right. Apparently they have waived and stretched Cole Anthony, although there's been no official, I mean, I don't know. Is there a press release for that? We have waived and stretched Cole Anthony.
I don't know. I feel like I think Greg Anthony was on TV the other day and talked about it, right? Like he said,
did he?
There might be a buyout. So
interesting. Okay, so this when the Myles Turner is signing with the Bucks, it was a how? What do you mean? And now we find out Dame Lillard has been waived and stretched. Giannis apparently, according to Chris Hayes, was saying. I mean, I don't know if this is a guy who famously is a Damian Lillard news water carrier. He's a mouthpiece for Damian Lillard, saying Giannis is not happy about this, which I take that with a grain of salt.
Well, listen, also Giannis wants to be a nice guy. So maybe Giannis is like, hey man, just say I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. So from the Pacers side, the Tyrese Halliburton Achilles injury, which of course occurred since the last time we recorded, that to me gives them some cover for cheaping out. This is a team famously never pays the luxury tax. Herb Simon had this team make the finals, and you're like, well, obviously you have this unrestricted free agent, your starter, Myles Turner, surely making the finals will be, we got to keep it together, at least for a little bit, sign everybody, figure it out later. No, they don't. They duck the tax. I think the Tyrese Halliburton injury gives them the media cover.
That's the cover
to do it. Like, well, listen, we weren't making it back. So let's regroup. We don't need to pay this and we'll try to get something else later. So that, I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You talk about Herb Simon not wanting to pay the tax. When was the last time you went to a mall? Is mall business doing well?
I feel like downtown Disney Anaheim qualifies.
Does Herb Simon own that?
I don't think I don't know.
Have you been to a Simon mall recently?
I don't know. I did go.
Okay.
When I went to see Mission Impossible IMAX, the final AI Reckoning, it was inside a mall, the Opry Mills Mall in Nashville, Tennessee.
How was that mall looking?
Man, I walked in right past the Wax Museum. Yet? And then had to go past. I had to go past the indoor blacklight putt place, and the Dave and Buster's that Steve McNair always hung out at before walking in. very scenic walking route.
Does that mall have carpet?
It does not, because it's in a flood zone, Dave.
There's too much humidity.
It's right by a river. They got a good deal on real estate. No, I am not pleased with the Pacers with this decision. I'm also not pleased with the Bucks. I'm happy for Myles Turner and his growing Lego collection. One of my all-time jealousies is seeing the way which Myles Turner can just buy every Lego set ever released.
You feel like he's probably just going to move right into Brooke Lopez's house?
Why not?
That feels like a 1-for-1 swap.
Yeah,
like
you assume you've got some customizable things for 7-foot tall guys. That's a
don't even change the furniture, right? Just yeah.
Do you think Jimmy Haslam, who's a part owner of the Bucks, and also of course owner of the Cleveland Browns, maybe he just thought there's no chance I'm paying over $100 million to Damian Lillard and Deshaun Watson combined next year. 2 Achilles tears on my books. I'm not doing it. Let's cut this bill down to 60 something for next year. I'll worry about the rest later.
I feel like the salary on a guy with Achilles tear is tax deductible.
You would think,
right?
Is that in the big beautiful bill? That should be in the big beautiful bill.
What they do, right?
So, do the Miami Heat finally get their guy? Slow and steady wins the race. Damian Lillard come on home to Miami.
No, you know what? My prediction. Next summer, I think we probably start hearing Dame back to Portland on some kind of small deal.
So I made up the fake trade that was shot down when the Trailblazers bought out DeAndre Ayton. Also, this kind of feels like, the Pacers quite famously made a maximum restricted free agent offer sheet to DeAndre Ayton back in the day. They would have never made the NBA Finals if the Suns hadn't matched. But now it feels like, all right, DeAndre Ayton's there. Maybe that will be the landing spot.
I don't remember the scenario, and I don't even know who his agent is anymore, like off the top of my head. But I always look at that and I'm like, I wonder, were the Pacers front office doing like a favor and driving up the price? I don't know.
Yeah.
There was no way the Suns weren't going to match.
Right.
Robert Sarver still on the team. DeAndre Ayton was kind of his crown jewel.
Yeah.
No way.
That's a good point. The fake trade I was thinking about with the Trailblazers, it was a spinoff of your idea. Whereas like the Bucks, you have the $60 million contract. Maybe you could turn it to expiring contracts of guys who were somewhat useful, guys who've been shuffled around or aren't really wanted in their current situations. I mean, maybe the Trailblazers wanted Drew Holiday. I think they do actually, for some locker room reasons beyond his on-court play. But I was thinking, what if Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton go back to the Bucks? We get a real reunion, a 3-way deal, Bucks, Wizards, Trailblazers. I was like, the Wizards can take on DeAndre Ayton's expiring contract and they could buy him out if they want.
Right.
Dame goes back to Portland where he can rehab and be a locker room leader, a PR guy, back to that fan base. It seemed perfect to me. And then, of course, the buyout for DeAndre Ayton happened, and that ruined that. All these buyouts, no one wants the matching salary anymore. But
the Ayton move and Colin Sexton, having to attach a second-round pick to Colin Sexton to move him.
Yeah.
We're in a really weird time, I think.
Yes.
Player value-wise, and I can't quite put my finger on where it's at. I mean, obviously small guards who can't defend, I think, are just out. That is just nobody wants them right now. They will take them.
Is Ty Jerome small?
Giving you anything.
I need to get a definition.
I mean, I think he's big enough, but he's not like a good defender.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but he's not making a lot of money.
The Colin Sexton giveaway confused me.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you don't.
Well, you and I love him.
We're like weirdly high on him. He just gets buckets.
Yeah. Well, also good, high character, tries hard on, like, his defensive problems are not because he's lazy, and like, okay, that's a guy you can work with.
I might be over influenced by one of the 10 college basketball games I watched in the last decade. And it was the time Colin Sexton was down to 3. Alabama had guys foul out. They had 3 players.
Yeah.
And it was 3-on-5. And I'm like, I don't care. I love this Colin Sexton guy. And then
that's the coolest college basketball moment any player's ever had.
It was so cool. And then you see the shooting numbers he has. And it's like, I don't care. I don't care what defensive limitations he has. He has try hard. Like he cares. And are the Jazz trying to win? How am I supposed to judge his culture? In the Jazz are their roster still an abomination. I mean, maybe the drafting for them worked out. Who knows? About. But they had to get rid of Clarkson and had to get rid of Colin Sexton. Maybe they're going to get rid of John Collins.
At least they didn't like throw gas on the fire on the way out. Like, yeah, we had to attach a 2nd-round pick, and also he stunk. Like the Ayton stuff has been funny, man. I mean, all we're hearing now is, oh, he was late to everything. He would complain all the time. Like, were you guys trying to let him sign another deal somewhere or not?
Yeah, I mean, Ayton famously low motor, but like, if you're a 7-footer who's automatic on 15-foot jumpers, that there's some value. There's some value there. And I don't know. Maybe,
how's he going to look next to Luka?
I mean, I'm making
Marvin Bagley.
I'm making both jokes for the Lakers. I mean, now it seems like, again, the Pacers could be involved in trying to acquire Ayton. There's a possible opportunity.
Oh, is that out there?
No, I don't. I'm just connecting dots. I'm connecting dots.
Okay.
I haven't set up a fake Twitter account where I throw out these things as if they are rumors and then get traction. I'm just connecting dots on my own, the privacy of this public podcast. I would think maybe Ayton could be a target if it's cheap enough, but I think it makes a lot of sense for the Lakers just because you got to get somebody better than what they have. I do think it's not an ideal situation where you don't want to be spending like your full MLE. You want to pull off this. Let's give him a little bit. You're getting paid. Let's give you a full reclamation year. So like the Lakers could then maybe bring in somebody else too. I mean, they already paid Jake LaRavia some money. Shout out Jake LaRavia being the Lakers' first call when free agency opened.
First call.
So
first
good.
Call.
Is it because he and Luka can maybe share clothes? They're both like 6'7", 240-ish. They're like he could be a stand-in on like commercials and things that Luka films. Just have a Luka stand. Just have a
Dalton Connect,
a Jake LaRavia stand-in.
LaRavia.
I don't. Maybe they
pick these guys out of a lineup.
Ayton to the Lakers, not ideal.
I don't know, man. I think it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
The problem is the defense. Like you're going to go into the season and LeBron's going to be your best defender.
I mean, although admittedly, there was a couple of years ago where I was like, Christian Wood and the Lakers. Yeah, it would be fine. The guy's,
oh, no way.
The guy could put the ball in the basket. The guy could put the ball in the basket playing alongside LeBron and AD. All he has to do is put the ball in the basket. And he was useless. So, I've been wrong before. I was joking that one of the reasons the Clippers went out and got Brook Lopez and the Rockets collected every free agent center.
Stop the Lakers.
Was so the Lakers would be forced to have Ayton. It was like, oh, that's like 4D chess roster building. I
love that.
The Rockets were like, we have no need for Clint Capella, but I feel like he might be a better lob threat for Luka than DeAndre Ayton. Let's just sign him. Let's just defensively sign him. Wish teams did this more. I'm going to sign him so you can't have him. We'll worry about it later. Honestly, the Rockets, their offseason, it did get muddied a little bit by the Clint Capella thing. I mean, if you tell me someone signed Clint Capella for $7 million a year, I'm like, great. He's a good guy, good center.
Yeah, good contract.
Who cares if it's a good contract? It's only when you look at the Rockets roster and you look at the rest of the things they did, like they already signed Steven Adams to a 3-year, $39 million deal. They already have Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith Jr. I mean, one of the big wins of the summer for me is the Rockets hanging on to Jabari Smith Jr. because it seemed like in some of these trades, they were going to send out either Jabari Smith Jr., like rumored to be involved in like a Kevin Durant offer, or you thought maybe Tari Eason or Cam Whitmore, one of the young guys would get sent out. None of the young guys. They have all the young guys.
I still think they'd like to move Cam Whitmore.
They could still make moves, and that would of course make their center situation make more sense. But the contract, again, Jabari Smith Jr. is going to be making essentially what Dame Lillard is going to be the stretches like 3-4 years from now. It's going to be a nice value for Jabari Smith Jr. But Şengün, Steven Adams, Capella, all centers. Yes, they played some double big in the playoffs. Jabari Smith Jr., sort of a center, but maybe power forward. Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe best spot the 4. Kevin Durant, maybe the best spot the 4. Tari and Amin Thompson, not shooters. So that normally in the NBA now means you play the 4. That's a lot of bigs. So I don't know exactly how that's all going to work out, but just the talent influx, bringing in Durant, the unloading of we'll call them unpopular, Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, and just the 10th pick. That Kevin Durant deal seems like a home run.
Well, I mean, if you just lay it out like this, you get KD and Dorian Finney-Smith for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the number 10 pick.
Yeah.
What?
It's great.
I mean, that's an A+ trade for you if that's your deal. And by the way, Dorian Finney-Smith, guy's in great shape. The contract is super reasonable. It's going to age well.
Yep.
The Rockets are set up. I really like what they've done.
Also, you would consider the Fred VanVleet contract to be a nice value signing, not making a bunch of money.
Really, is it even one extra? It's one extra year.
It's basically
but it's
one extra, right. 25.
Yeah.
I do think, I do wonder if, despite the fact that Rockets fans are high-fiving by turning Jalen Green and Dylan into Kevin Durant, just even the addition by subtraction was good enough for him.
Yeah.
But, Jalen Green led them in scoring last year. Are they going to miss that? I don't know. Of course, he was
I think Kevin Durant
kind of useless in the playoffs. So you would think, of course, Kevin Durant could pick up that slack. Dylan Brooks is a winning player, though. I stand by this, and I wonder if maybe they missed some of what he brings. I know the Grizzlies did not think they would miss it, and they missed it big time when he left.
We talked about, before Dylan Brooks got to Houston, we talked about how like the Cavs needed a Dylan Brooks type. Like you and I had this conversation.
Yeah.
Just somebody to give him an edge. And I think the Rockets I don't think that they're going to be missing that next year. I think that they've got enough guys that have an edge. I mean, it helps that Ime is their coach. It is, I think that they're going to be okay. But I'm with you, though. I mean, the guy he also plays every game.
Yeah.
This is like the thing. Number one thing on my list when I'm looking at guys it's like, oh, can you play 75, 80 games? Cool. Okay. That matters. And you're a starter. That's huge. So I do think that that's an issue for them because Dorian Finney-Smith, he does kind of pick up injuries here and there.
Well, he's a little bit older. You know who played all 82 games last season?
Who's that?
Jalen Green. So, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, both have been relatively healthy. I actually like this deal a lot for the Suns too. I think it's a home run for the Rockets. Suns did a good job here. Kevin Durant aging. You were bad last year. 1 year left on that deal to get 2 starters, even if Jalen Green has his issues and is duplicative with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. Getting 2 starters, or at least Dylan Brooks in there, to give you some culture. To finally consummate the long-awaited the deal on Brooks, which is a famous Fastbreak Breakfast bit from back in the day when there was the confusion over Marshawn Brooks or Dylan Brooks. The Suns finally get Dylan Brooks, but I think Dylan Brooks helps that team. Getting the 10th pick, getting Malawach seems pretty good. They did step on their toes for me, PR-wise. Why are you trading for Mark Williams the same second you're drafting your guy? Why can you not? I don't even care if you trade for Mark Williams. Don't do it within the same breath of this guy's moment. You're going to draft this guy in the 10th pick, and there's even a video on social media of Rich Paul talking to Matt Ishbia about making sure Malawach is available at 10 for them. I guess that's how the whole draft works. It doesn't seem cool, but okay. But still, having that be a simultaneous move, you're like, first of all, why? But then just space it out. Is that deal going to go away? I was very confused about that. Also, Nick Richards returns. The Suns locking down the Hornets center rotation from last year.
Oh man, the Suns are funny. We've got bad teams again, Keith, and that's kind of fun. We got dumb teams.
We have hideously horrible GMs.
Shout out Scott Perry.
Seems
back. Joe Dumars back.
Joe Dumars. More on that in a second. The Joe Dumars, Troy Weaver, Sean Marks. I am I am appalled by the Brooklyn Nets. I guess we can. I guess we
You don't love Michael Porter Jr.?
I guess we can move on from the Suns thing. I mean, it's as a Grizzlies fan who has a vested interest in their draft next year. I actually wish they got less for next year. I'm like, all right, like Mark Williams plus Malawach plus Nick Richards. That is at least a center that can play for 48 minutes. And then you're like, I think Dylan Brooks will help them. Bradley Beal is not useless, although he could be useless, and just personality / whatever the vibes are in the locker room. Maybe it gets weird, and maybe that's the hope that things fall apart that way. They honestly, they're probably still going to move guys. I mean, we're recording on Tuesday morning.
They could still move Beal. I don't think Beal is.
Did they get permission? They can't even stretch him, right? Because they would then break the little known rule: 15% of your cap can't be dead money. And if they stretched Beal, they would go over it because they're paying. Who are they paying? Nasir Little?
Yeah,
somebody else. It escapes me right now. But
I don't have cap sheets in front of me anymore.
So, I mean, I don't know. You would think maybe this gives them permission if they could work out some kind of buyout where Beal gave him back enough money. That's the funny thing. We're like, if Beal entered the market, what even is the market for him?
That's the thing. I actually think, look, nobody wants the no trade clause. It's not necessarily.
No, I'm saying if there was a buyout, if he was just a free agent,
I feel like he would sign somewhere. I mean, I don't know. He's still an okay player. It's just that he's not the $50 million, contract player that he signed to. And the thing is, I still think that there's probably a market for him.
Yeah,
there's probably a market. It's just nowhere he wants to go.
Yeah,
he would have been interesting in Milwaukee.
If Colin Sexton's being Denver, salary dumped, you would think Bradley Beal on Denver would be a godsend. Same for Milwaukee.
So good at DHO,
like you just said. Dave, let's take a break. We've gotten a little carried away. We haven't had breakfast. We haven't apologized. I don't think we're going to. Let's take a break, and I want to talk about some of my favorite movies. Some of my favorite moves. I've been watching
movies. What have you been watching?
Man, I don't have time for this. I did hear Ryan Russillo just watch Casablanca. I was happy for him.
Watched Rear Window the other day.
It's a great one. So good.
So good.
I started watching Bringing Up Baby, which is a Cary Grant 1938 movie. This is a spoiler. I didn't know Baby was going to be a leopard. There's a literal leopard in this movie. The whole movie's about a leopard. It's delight. It's like a slapstick 1938 movie. Anyways, let's take
real
a break.
Leopard.
Absolutely.
No CGI. See?
No. Yeah. Absolute real leopard. Domesticated leopard who Wikipedia says the leopard trainer was off camera with the whip throughout the entire filming of the movie. Maybe that's what Bradley Beal needs. We'll be back right after this. All right, Dave, my steak and eggs best thing of all free agency. I mean, congratulations, Thunder, on winning the title a week ago. No one cares. The NBA didn't care. They scheduled the draft 3 days later in free agency. 3 days later,
a day after the parade.
You take 1 6-day vacation. I missed the entire everything, and now we're already in free agency, which of course generates way more traffic than the NBA Finals do for all podcasts. My favorite move so far is the Denver Nuggets trading for my guy Cam Johnson. I love Cam Johnson. I think this is amazing.
You're the first person I thought of.
I mean, first of all, I have been daydreaming about the Grizzlies trading for him for forever. I'm pretty sure 2 years ago, the Grizzlies offered 3 first-round picks for him. That was the Mikal Bridges got 4. And then I think the Grizzlies was like, we'll offer 3 for, it was 3 for Cam and 2 for Dorian Finney. All of them turned down. Every trade turned down. So now the Nets trade Cam Johnson for this 2032 unprotected Nuggets pick. Basically, the only thing they could trade, and Michael Porter Jr. I think this is an exceptional move for the Nuggets. I think this is an idiotic move for the Nets. I don't see how this is good for both sides. Maybe you're wrong. I'm seeing a lot of this is good for both sides.
No.
I am appalled. I'm appalled by the Nets. Their roster right now, Dave,
they got a worse player. They got a worse player who's, I don't know. Is Michael Porter Jr., does he track like a guy that's going to be in the league in a couple of years?
I
I
don't.
don't think it was about the player. I don't understand
It's
the
not about the
move.
player, of course.
And
Not about the player.
that's what I'm saying. The 2032 pick. So great. 7 years from now, the Nuggets maybe don't have Jokic, probably don't have Jokic.
Right. 37-year-old
He's
Jokic.
probably not
Okay.
playing. Cool. So 7 years from now, Nets fans, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have this great pick. I mean, I guess it made them worse, but it feels to me like they should have just held on to Cam or gotten rid of him sooner. I mean, maybe this is again. The market is just gone. I don't imagine that's how it would work for Cam Johnson. I don't know why they would want Michael Porter Jr.
So again, I don't think they want him.
Period.
Yeah, we have cap space.
I'm trying to wrap my head around.
We'll take
any
the
reasoning.
next 2 years of Michael Porter Jr. So we get this one draft pick that again, 7 years from now, maybe it'll be a great pick. But the Nuggets angle for this, they unloaded an albatross of a salary. They also have unbelievably wealthy owners who don't want to pay. They're trying to always cut costs. They had this contract that was keeping them from adding any players or improving at all. Just getting off of the Michael Porter Jr. contract. I mean, despite he had a really good regular season, he's a solid player. His shoulder injury made him be horrible throughout the entire playoffs, but we've seen it before where he kind of very mediocre. Also, I think when you consider the boost that other players have received from Jokic, like, oh, look what KCP and Bruce Brown and Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. Look what these guys are like now that they're with Jokic. I think that's an actual thing. And you consider Michael Porter Jr., like he might, Dave, be awful next year. Because we haven't seen him play without Jokic. But beyond that, the salary was an albatross that was keeping the Nuggets from doing anything. And that on its own, getting rid of that on its own, worth a first round pick. The price of moving Michael Porter Jr. to me would take at least a first round pick. And he's got 2 more years on the deal. I assume it would be more than a first round pick. So to me, the Nets said, we will take that albatross for you for an unprotected first round pick. We will also give you Cam Johnson for free. And to me, that's insane. And the Nuggets now get a player who I think is better. At the very least, they turned a legendary blockhead into one of the most insightful and intelligent players in the NBA.
Listen.
But like they got a player who I think is better, who fits better, and they also got freed up to sign more players.
Yeah.
They were able to
they shaved what, 12 million?
Yeah, they shaved tons of money.
Yeah.
They can use the MLE. They got Bruce Brown, who honestly, what a story. Bruce Brown on the minimum. He got all his money. He's not greedy.
Right.
Jokic got him a 40 something million dollars. And Bruce is like, I appreciate it. I'm coming back. They just traded Dario Saric for Jonas Valanciunas, a move I also love because Dario Saric was a horrible move who had that second-year player option. We killed that move at the time last summer. To turn that into Jonas, you don't need him to do playoff reps. That guy can play 20 minutes a game in the regular season and just he's a force. I love that move for them, and they can still add more players.
Right.
They traded. They essentially
after Jonas, they're 2.4 million below the tax. The vet minimum is 2.3. So they can sign one more vet minimum player and still be under the tax, which we all care about more than anything.
We care about more. Nuggets. I'm just saying, turning Porter into Cam Johnson, that's a win.
Yeah. But
then you add in the other players they will also be able to get because of this move. Yeah. Unbelievable job by a Nuggets front office. I frequently criticize. I think the Nuggets are back there, man. The Nuggets
they were there.
They took the Thunder to 7 games, and Michael Porter Jr. was awful.
And they added 3 rotation players to a team that had 4 by the end of that series because Michael Porter Jr. was barely a player. By the way, to his credit, playing through a bunch of stuff. By the way, I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
There is a 6'6", 12-year-old right now named Christian Bell.
Now we're talking.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Blocking everything. He's in Texas.
I love it.
That's the number one pick right now, projected in that 2032 draft class. So, guys, Christian Bell, Brooklyn
Ooh,
net.
breaking news, Dave. The Milwaukee
Oh no.
Bucks trading Pat Connaughton and 2 second-round picks for Vasily Micic. Micic, who was traded back to the Hornets in the Mark Williams.
Okay.
Deal.
Well, he's not playing. This is a salary move.
This is a straight up set. They're gonna buy him out so we can go to Europe. Save some more money. The Nets roster is like, I mean, first of all, their draft performance. Everyone knows you and me, not draft guys.
Sure.
But apparently they reached on the 8th pick, like a pretty big reach on the 8th pick. They had 5 first rounders and kept them all.
Took them all.
I'm going to just read. I think this is right because this is from NBA TV. I could be getting right now just duped by Photoshop or something, but I think this is right based on the number of like prominent people retweeting it. I don't include myself in that. The Nets projected depth chart from NBA TV. I'm just going to read off last names because I don't know who any of these people are. Demon. Oh, they got Terrence Mann.
Yes.
Ugh. But right now the starting lineup is the 8th pick Demon. They got Cam Thomas still there, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter Jr., Nick Claxton. Then the bench, I like Keon Johnson. And then Traore, D. Powell, Clowney, Wolf, the rookie, Seraph, Whitehead, Wilson, maybe Drew Timme still there. Like wow. That's an 8-win basketball team. And we know, like, I mean, Jordy Fernandez did some good stuff last year. We were impressed.
Yeah.
But to totally just decimate your talent level, just, you know how much I always hate that in the off season to go into a year to be like, oh yeah, we're going for 11.
Well,
wins.
They learned from their mistakes last year. Remember, they were too frisky last year.
They didn't learn anything. I mean, still, maybe there's 6 guys. You saw the Wizards drafting low or 5 or 6 and the Jazz dropping down. I don't know. I don't think the Nets are doing a very good job. What's the plan? Are they going to trade for
there is no plan.
Star? Are they going to use free agency
we're going to win the number
get,
1 pick?
That's nothing. I hate it. The Hawks, Dave. The Hawks are getting a lot of attention.
Very good.
I feel like the Hawks have positioned themselves nicely in the East. I only wish their order of operations had been slightly switched so it could have built momentum. It was like a great song or movie that's like great. And then the last note, you're like, it's fine. It should have ended with a bang. Cause you're like, oh man, we fleeced the Pelicans for that 2026 unprotected pick. Yes. We got Porzingis for basically nothing. Yes. We won the Nickeil Alexander Walker sweepstakes. Yes. We paid $11 million for Luke Kennard. What? That's fine. I mean,
oh wait, did that drop? I missed that this morning.
That feels like a lot. Yeah, no, they got Luke Kennard. It's like, I thought he was going to sign for like maybe 4 million, maybe 5 million. Yeah, like, all right, he's like fine.
Vet minimum.
Yeah, he's not going to kill you. But that was not. I was like high-fiving, like, oh man, the Hawks. Trae Young's got something cooking. Oh, the Hawks, they're going to bat Luke Kennard. That's fine. You know. So
no, it's funny. Nobody wants Luke Kennard until they need him. And then it's like, wow, why didn't we play Luke Kennard a little bit more?
No,
every team that he's been on.
You have that backwards, Dave. You have that backwards. I'm sorry, man. Every team that gets Luke Kennard is like, oh man, we need shooting. We got to get some shooting. And then there's a few games. I think it's slightly related to the Buddy Hield thing. I've never experienced the Buddy Hield experience where every time you get Buddy Hield, you're like, oh, this guy's amazing. Why did the last team want this guy? And then you're like, oh, get this guy off my team. This guy can't play. And then you're like, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, he had a bounce back. That's why we have him. So the Luke Kennard thing, your team gets him, you need shooting. And then he comes in, you're like, oh, wow, this guy's awesome. And then after a few more games, you're like, oh, Luke, shoot. Why aren't you shooting? Hey, shoot. Like, it's like, hey man, we don't have any players. We need you to score. Like, why don't you go do your thing? And then eventually you're like, man, let's just play Cam Spencer. Like Cam Spencer will try. Like, hey, this guy, Luke Kennard, like meticulously picking his shots to keep his percentages high. It's like, no. I'm done with Luke Kennard. We need a real player. So I think maybe I mean, that being said, I still thought he would have fit well on the Nuggets if they got him for cheap. I was surprised that he still got money again. He got paid again. I mean, listen, Luke Kennard is not doing it wrong.
Right.
Because check the bank account. He got another team. They're like, oh, wait, this guy shot 45% from 3 again. It's like, he did.
But it takes a first round pick to move Colin Sexton. Dennis Schroeder gets $15 million a year.
Yep.
Colin Sexton on an expiring takes a second round pick.
Second round pick to move. Yeah.
Second, not first. Sorry.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. The Hawks are well set up. I mean, the East, you have the Pacers because of the injuries. I mean, there's the fire sale. The Celtics fire sale is, ongoing. They could not pay to keep Luke Cornett. Spurs defense might be incredible. Like Luke Cornett, man. One of those analytic darlings where it's like, this might be the most underrated player. His impact per minute is unbelievable. Whether that holds up in a bigger role. I mean, do you think Zach Collins, does he just move out and just let Luke Kennard have his house? He's out. Yeah.
I don't know. They feel like different guys.
No, but the
Luke Cornett probably has like a golden retriever, right?
Oh yeah. You mean like driving a Civic? What are we saying here?
Yeah.
Talking personalities?
No, yeah. Different types of guys.
Okay.
Like Luke Cornett looks like he does taxes for fun.
Yeah, that's true. I had a poster of Luke Cornett's dad, Frank Cornett, played for Vanderbilt. I had a signed Frank Cornett poster in my bedroom growing up.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I wish you still had it.
Actually, I do. I found them. I found my collection of Vanderbilt rolled up posters that like my parents gave back to me probably in the last 5 years sometime.
When the Spurs come to town, you should give that to Luke Cornett.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring it to Summer League and just give it to him. Here you go.
Prized possession.
Here's your signed dad's poster. Yeah, it smells a little weird. Cool. I've owned it for 40 years. No, the East. So maybe the Hawks have positioned themselves to make a run at it. The Cavaliers, who I guess we should talk about the fact that they picked Sam Merrill over Ty Jerome. That confuses me.
Not me. I like it. I mean, I think that Ty Jerome is an easier guy to replace than Sam Merrill. I mean, that type of shooting is just hard. It's real hard to find a guy that can shoot like that, and he holds up defensively. Whereas Ty Jerome, and the Cavs were a team I thought about for Colin Sexton. Again, that expired, reunion. Right? Like, yeah, I mean, it's not. Ty Jerome had a great year last year. You think he's going to have another year?
I don't know.
I'm putting a Grizzly fan on the spot.
I do want to talk about it. I mean, Sam Merrill, by the way, seems to be a Luke Kennard who likes to shoot. Before we talk about Ty Jerome, just trying to assess the East, like I was saying, like the Celtics, the Celtics might still be there because they still have a lot of talent. I mean, Al Horford. When I say I mean playoff. They're in the playoff mix. I mean,
sure.
Are the Celtics or Hawks better right now?
So no Porzingis, no Drew Holiday, no
Tatum.
Al Horford, Tatum.
You got Derek White. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Anthony Simons. You got Peyton Pritchard. It's something. Is Xavier Tillman the starting five? I don't know who they're.
They may be down to calling the Phoenix Suns to see if they can get
Nick Richards.
Right.
I mean, the Celtics also where they're at. Will they purposefully try to?
Well, we'll know based on, I think, the Derek White situation.
Yep.
If somehow Derek White moves, then who knows?
Knicks are going to be good. Cavs are going to be good. Pacers are taking a step back because of the injury.
Bucks are going to be fine.
I
think Bucks are in that top
mediocre.
Half.
So Hawks are in there.
Hawks might be a home court playoff team.
Yeah. Still, I mean,
what about the Sixers?
Well, the
How
Sixers.
Are we feeling about Philly?
The Sixers could bounce all the way back. Of course, the Magic are planning to be there. I mean, why not the Raptors, Dave? They have.
Come on, have you?
They have talent. Roster? There's talent on that roster. Listen, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Jakob Poeltl, quickly. Those are at least players. They're better than most of these teams, I think. Maybe not.
Feels like a 9 seed.
The Magic, of course, after trading for Desmond Bane, they reunite Bane with Tyus Jones. That's the starting backcourt, I believe, of 2 of the last 3 Grizzlies playoff wins. Tyus Jones and Desmond Bane. I like that for them. I mean,
That's
the
a
Magic,
good backup.
the Magic
Suggs,
running back next. I mean, they're running back last year's team,
right.
just with Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones. Like, they're not going to miss Cole Anthony and KCP, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
They're pretty good. Okay, so going back to the Ty Jerome situation. So the Grizzlies signed Ty Jerome. It was very surprising to me because I did not expect Ty Jerome to be available for the room exception. The Grizzlies signed him for $8.8 million in that first year. I didn't even consider that to be an option for the Grizzlies because I thought his market would be higher than that. This guy, I mean, unbelievable 3-point shooter, makes all the floaters, was 3rd in 6th man of the year, was this spark plug, incredible efficiency. I thought, oh, he's going to get paid. The Cavs can't keep him. Turns out 3-year, $27 million. It's like, oh, that's not a lot. So part of me worries, am I being tricked here? Why didn't you guys want him? That's what I feel.
Right.
Like, well, how do we get him? Does that mean no one wanted him? Why didn't anybody want him? I
mean, I wonder how much the playoffs really cost him money because he looked bad.
Yeah.
But also it's just one season.
No, it's just one season ever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like he found the Like Mike shoes.
Yeah. And he played on the best team in the East. He had a great defense behind him, literally the defensive player of the year behind him, and Jared Allen. He had an easy job. Like, I mean, I get the skepticism. I think
the
Cleveland probably
the Paolo
did the right
Banchero
thing.
trash talk. Have you seen that?
No.
There's like a clip of Paolo Banchero very profanely explaining to him he's garbage. The only reason he gets in these numbers is because he's playing on a great team. You know, like there's a.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I mean, Ty Jerome is talking back to him as well, but like still,
sure.
But highly circulated clip. I
could
wonder
be
about
a thing.
It. I mean,
is Memphis good enough to make him look good?
At the very least, it seems like it's a good contract. I mean, he'd have to fall totally on his face to be like not worth, like, hey, we have Ty Jerome for $9 million. Can you take him off the books?
He'd have to be like Cam Spencer.
Yeah, Cam Spencer's fine. Cam Spencer's fine.
Not for that money.
No, not for the same. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies did finally lock down Jaren Jackson Jr. They did what, to me, Dave, they did the small market renegotiate and extend. This is what the Kings did. They did not use cap space to add players. They did not use assets in the past few years to add players. They did it all to retain a guy. And I understand not wanting Jaren to hit free agency in like the one summer where teams are going to have cap space, including, maybe the Lakers could get there and like the Knicks might be able to pursue him. And then you have big market. I mean, I was going to say the Nets, but they're a tire fire. So like, I understand like, oh, we have to keep our guy, but like the cost, the actual opportunity cost of getting this renegotiation and extension done. I mean, of course, you gave them all your cap space this year, but like the Grizzlies didn't sign any free agents for the last 3 seasons. They didn't make a trade to get better. They used the 18th pick to salary dump Marcus Smart. They used a second rounder to salary dump Zaire Williams. They got rid of Jake LaRavia. They waived and stretched Cole Anthony just to keep a guy you had. It's still like that. That's kind of a lot. I mean, I'm happy he's going to be. I'm happy he's signed through like 2030. Or he has a player option in 2029, 2030, but still feels like a small market activity. I don't know.
I was going to say,
I don't know if any of the big dogs are doing all that.
This feels like how I got through like paying for an apartment in college, if you're a professional sports franchise and you're having to be like, okay, I can eat ramen for this week.
Yeah.
And then I can sign Jaren Jackson to a contract extension on Monday.
Yeah.
I think you got bigger problems. That being said, like, this is like all extrapolates out from the CBA where the extensions got more powerful so that small markets could do this and keep their guys.
Yeah.
But it also now handcuffs the small market because you start saying, well, what does this mean about Ja?
Mm-hmm.
because the money just starts getting expensive. I mean, OKC, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander just signed his big contract, right? Now they're all coming.
70 million a year. Incredible stuff.
Right. Everybody's going to deal with the same stuff. I mean, the Celtics tear down, right? At least the
Yep.
Celtics got a title out of it before they had to tear it down. So, I mean, that's the thing with the Grizzlies, and going through all these moves to sign Jaren Jackson. But I will say, Santi Aldama's contract is fantastic.
It's fine.
Great deal. No. Listen, he compares very favorably to Naz Reid. Right, like I mean, by the numbers,
Man,
they're different players.
I'm a strong disagreeer there, but I might be too close.
I know you love Naz
I'm too
Reid.
close to the situation.
Right, I know you love Naz Reid, but the numbers are pretty similar, right?
Yep.
It's a little bit more of a balance with Santi Aldama than it is with Naz Reid. Naz Reid obviously can be electric and give you like 30 off the bench, but I would say if you're looking at production, pretty similar, and you get Santi Aldama at a much cheaper and shorter contract. So,
Yep.
I mean, not that there was this huge market necessarily for him, but I think the Grizzlies have done okay, just keeping your guys. But
they've done it. They've done okay at like keeping the band together ish. I mean, obviously they traded Desmond Bane. They got a lot of first round picks, but it's like we've done a lot of stuff just to keep some people. And I mean, the Grizzlies don't have they're pretty low down in the Western Conference. I would think. Right now.
Well, they've gotten lower.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're ahead of the Pelicans. Weirdest team. They have the weirdest collection of players. We didn't even make fun of them. We didn't even make fun of them a lot for the draft night trade.
All of the conspiracies about Dallas and like, oh, the new owners want to tank the team, and nobody's saying that about them getting Joe Dumars back in there in New Orleans. Nobody's saying they're trying to tank the team to move it.
What's the long play? I mean, the owner is like a long-term New Orleans person.
I don't get why anyone would tank a team to move it. I'm just saying we can't come up with a single conspiracy theory for getting Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver into the Pelicans front office. I need something, guys.
What else haven't we hit? Is there anything we need to? I mean, obviously, tons of things have happened.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
I feel like you mentioned Naz Reid, not a great playoffs for him. I do feel like the combination of Naz Reid and Julius Randle is an impressive bit of convincing guys to maybe work together and help us stay under the second apron. And I mean, Julius Randle and Naz Reid combined for like basically what the Bucks are having to pay Myles Turner or have invested in Myles Turner because of the Dame Lillard stretch. Were those guys together about 55 million, 58 million, somewhere around there? That's not bad. And also I think I like the Timberwolves with those guys coming back more than I liked maybe some of those fake Durant trades I saw where it's like, if you give it up, if you're giving up all that for Durant, I'm not sure you're that much better. And of course your timeline is all jacked up now. Now I think the Timberwolves have at least a chance to get a couple more years out of Gobert, and you're still on the ascendancy, you'd think, with Anthony Edwards. But they did all right.
If Dillingham and Terrence Shannon hit,
okay,
you're in good shape.
Let's get some Leonard as a podcaster. I'd say let's give Leonard Miller minutes. Come on now.
I love him. I love him as a guy. I just don't think he's a guy.
I'm now scrolling the NBA.com. Oh, the Pistons signed Karis LeVert. I am a LeVert convert. I like him. A LeVert convert. I like saying that. I like LeVert. I don't love it for the Pistons. With Jaden Ivey still there, with Asar, with Ron Holland, I feel like they're kind of weird with their center rotation, not being sure what they want to do. Up. Yeah, he's not a real spacer. He's just a ball in the hand guy. He's an unselfish player. I think he's a solid, good NBA player. That's why he's won me over. Right? I didn't used to love him a few years ago, but I don't exactly see the fit for the Pistons. Also, when we talk about the East and maybe there's an open opportunity, Trajan Langdon and the Pistons. I mean, I know you don't have to be maybe aggressive. You don't have to go for it. You don't have to be as wild as the Bucks, but like maybe you could have done something that got you closer to like the Knicks or the Magic. And I'm not sure they did.
I'm not sure who
there's still time left.
They could have gotten.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I doubt they were in on Myles Turner. Myles Turner probably looked at the Bucks rightfully as a better chance to maybe win a title. I mean, if you go play with Giannis,
Man,
just know.
do you think? I mean, I don't know if would the Pistons be able to do a Durant and Myles Turner together? But it seems,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, who's out there as a needle mover?
No, it's a good point.
Alexander Walker would have been a good guy coming off the bench for them.
They were rumored to be maybe in conversation for that.
Yeah. LeVert kind of becomes the backup option there, which is, to me, that's a totally different player. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was a player that I had a lot of interest in for a bunch of teams. I mean, it's a huge signing for the Hawks. Massive.
Yeah. Hawks did pretty good. Can't complain. Let's answer a single listener question, Dave.
Is it about DeAnthony Melton and why the Grizzlies aren't trying to sign him?
Hey, if the Grizzlies get DeAnthony Melton, if the Lakers get DeAnthony Melton on the minimum, which might be the thing. I mean, good for DeAnthony going back to Southern Cal, that area, trying to rebuild his value after these last 2 years being injured. I will be excited if I get permission to cheer for LeBron and Luka because they have Melton and LaRavia. I won't complain. That sounds kind of fun. No, let's answer a single listener submitted question. This is the croissant questioner. Are you going to finish that croissant? The question master, Magnus, wants to know, as a superstitious prospect, would you be more worried about being drafted by the Sixers or the Pelicans? Sixers or Pelicans, Dave? Who's more cursed?
That's real hard.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. It's honestly, do you want to be outsmarted into a curse, or do you want to be dumbed into a curse? And I almost think it's a little bit more tolerable to just be like, oh man, these guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Then these guys are so galaxy brained that I'm cursed. You know what I mean? I think I'd go Pelicans.
I always go Pelicans because I believe there's a legitimate voodoo curse. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I think there's something legitimate there. I would love to free Herb Jones. I'd love to free Trey Murphy. I mean, maybe again, we're recording on Tuesday, July 1st. And of course, lots of things could still happen. I mean, maybe there's something lined up where the Pistons go out and get Trey Murphy I haven't even pulled up. I've been too nervous to pull up the Pelicans depth chart. Cause I'm just like, I was like, oh, they have Jordan Poole. Oh, they picked up this power forward in the draft who's supposed to be overlap with Zion. Oh, they picked up another shooter, no defense guy in the draft. So I've been too nervous to even look at the roster. So maybe it'll make more sense, but I'm like, what are they doing? Also, of course, they gave away their first round pick for next year.
Yep.
So weird. Yeah, I would just say the Sixers had bad luck in some of their drafts, but they specifically, oh, maybe they're cursed for the process. No, I was going to say specifically the guys they took were available because of medical stuff. Like the Embiid stuff, it's like, well, that was the thing. That's why he fell in the draft is medicals. And I don't know how far back you want to go. Hopefully McCain's going to be fine this year. I mean, they're a weird team, but maybe I don't know.
They've got, Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe.
Yeah.
Right. Is so interesting.
And Grimes, restricted free agent.
Yeah. And right. They could bring back Grimes. I mean, the Embiid thing is just the biggest question mark.
Yeah.
And if Paul George is going to podcast next year, that's the burning question.
Yeah. What would you rather hear, that Paul George got traded away for the Sixers or that Paul George quit podcasting? So maybe
I don't hear his podcast. So, I mean, that podcast exists in the woods somewhere. I do not know it exists.
If it's not being aggregated, I won't see it. Yeah.
I don't believe anyone listens to these podcasts, by the way. I think that we just see social media clips. So
yeah. Thank you, Magnus, for the question. If you want your question answered on air, gotta be a Patreon supporter over at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. Thank you to all the Patreon supporters. Also, by the way, let's announce the Stone Cold Locks winners. This was our Patreon playoff contest for picking the winners of each series. Here we go. Top 3 places. Third place goes to JG. Second place went to Justingus Pingus. And first place, by virtue of a tiebreaker, our tiebreaker was which person locked the most series, which means gambled their points because they say, if you wanted to lock your pick, that was gambling your points. You got nothing if you lost, but you got bonus points if you were right. They both tied by they only locked 3 series along the way, which frankly, cowardly. Not that brave, but it worked out for him. The second tiebreaker was who had the most correct locked picks, and Adam Pike won. He was 3 for 3 on his locks. Justin in second place was 2 out of 3 on his locks. So by virtue of the second tiebreaker, Adam Pike won a cash prize and a gift card to the NBA store. So congratulations, Adam.
Congratulations.
Adam Grizzlies Film on Twitter. He and I are simultaneously always sharing how appalled we are by the Grizzlies in our secret Slack channel over at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. All right, Dave, it's now time for the awards segment of the program. We have to take care of the last few weeks, the end of the finals, and give out the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award given to the worst performance in a box score. Honorable mention, Alex Caruso, 1 for 8 in game 5. Benny Matherin, 2 for 11 in game 5. Also 1 for 6 in game 6. Chet Holmgren, 4 for 15 in game 5. Our 3 nominees, as they occurred throughout the week. We have Tyrese Halliburton in game 5. 0 for 6 in the loss. 0 for 6, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. Then we had Myles Turner, 1 for 9 in game 6 in a win. 1 for 9, 3 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 blocks. And then we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing his best Kobe game 7 impersonation. 8 for 27. A ton of points and assists, though, for Shai.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably Halliburton 0 for 6.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, obviously hampering with the injury.
Yeah, the injury.
But the injury is not in the box score, so we can't admit that as evidence. And then Myles Turner, 1 for 9 in game 6, 3 points, 4 boards.
Kind of tough, man.
I kind of lean Halliburton. I mean, 6 attempts, I'm certain, has never been nominated for the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award before. But you're in the finals, and you're 0 for 6.
You only took 6 shots.
So, yeah.
Actually.
I'd probably go Halliburton.
Halliburton. Yeah. Adding insult on top of injury.
Insult to injury is the fast break breakfast way. Myles Turner in the finals, 6 for 28 on 3-pointers. It's not very good.
Pretty rough.
He averaged 10 points per game over the final 10 games of the playoffs. I am stunned there hasn't been a Myles Turner surgery leak. Like Myles Turner has undergone so-and-so on a torn so-and-so.
J-Dub looked awesome. And they were saying, he had a little torn thing in his wrist and he played through it. Yep.
Anyways, I think that's all for today because, of course, there's still breaking news.
Yeah.
We got to get this up before anything else interesting happens.
And we're in Vegas next week.
And that's right. Going to Las Vegas in about 9 days. That's where I'm going. The Grizzlies are going to play, I think, like 90 minutes after I land. It's going to be tight. I'm not going to check any bags. I know Thomas and Mack, it's like 4 minutes from the airport. So I think it should be fine. Fingers crossed.
This is on Thursday.
I'm coming in on Friday. Friday morning, Grizzlies play at I think 1 p.m. local. I land at like 11:30 local. It'll be fine. I'm excited. I'm going to see Javon Small play. I think is his name. 2nd round pick out of West Virginia. Anyways, Dave, thanks for hanging out. Great stuff as always. Listeners, you're the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fastbreak break, man. You understand?